What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are shining our spotlight on Devon Dudley Get the Tables. He was released about 2 weeks ago? I want to say he was released 2 weeks ago. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's 2 weeks ago. So, Devon Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, both of them have been re-released in the game. Their old cards have had a rework to them. So, right now, my mission in life is to get Devon Dudley get the tables to 6-star silver. And then old Devon and old Bubba, they're going to go to 6-star bronze. Just because I want to see exactly if they are viable. And I'll be doing those videos later on. I'm hoping that the talent up that's coming up, I'm hoping I have enough resources to jump them up. I did get 5-star fuses and some pulls, so I'm hoping that kind of helps a little bit. So, with all that being said, let's move on to Devon Dudley Get the Tables. Now, I absolutely love Devon. He is one of the best acros, in my opinion. That's not really saying a lot, as a majority of the acros are kind of lackluster. You have cards like Hall of Fame Macho that are still amazing, Zombie Orton that are still amazing. D'Lo obviously is amazing, but inconsistent. Logan Paul is, well, he's Logan Paul. There's really not a whole lot to him. I'll do a video on him later on. I just haven't been impressed with him, and I've been looking for an acro to become my main that can take down stuff like Showboat Taker without having to worry about checking on moves and stuff like that. And I think Devon is the answer to that. So what we're going to start off with first is, in my opinion, the weakest, lamest move set possible because it is high risk. And that is going to be our triple purple. We have our seated rear chin lock that, thanks to our trainer here in Tech Sammy, we're going to generate 33 random submission gems and do 480,000 damage for 3 turns. So roughly 1.3 million damage, somewhere around that range. Give or take, the people having submission or negative submission turns, stuff like that. Some random freaking coaches that you see along the way. Once the submission is done, there are all going to be color turn gems that are remaining. That's where the high risk comes in. Is the submission is great. We're doing a lot of damage. We're mitigating some of the damage coming out from our opponent and getting their MP down. The problem that comes with it, though, is the color turn gems that are left behind. After you're done with the submission, it's your opponent's turn. Your opponent's going to do something that's going to come back to you. Once it comes back to you, there is a 50-50 shot, in my opinion, that the color turns are going to change out and you're either going to cascade, get a row break, something. It's going to lead into a pin about 50% of the time. I'm saying 50-50 on this one. It's just a high risk thing I do not like, but if you are a submission person, then this will fit your wheelhouse. Following the submission, we're going to go into the Saving Grace. We're going to deal 456,000 damage and make 11 random color turn gems into multiplied gems of strength 7. The hardcore mode for this one is, if an opponent's class is Showboat, we're first going to deal 902,000 damage and make 11 random gems into multiplied gem strengths of 9. This move right here is one of the top moves for Devon, in my opinion, not just because of move damage, but because of what it produces. So if you have a 200% purple move damage increase medal on there, you're looking at 200%. So you're going to be looking at about 1.2 million for the initial damage, and then 2.7 million for the hardcore, which honestly is not a bad trade-off. Very, very, very good. And we actually will see this move a couple of more times down the line. Maybe one more time. Yeah, one more time. And then that's going to go into Testify. Deal 178,000 damage and make 38 random gems into purple gems. We're doing 38 because we have Rock and Roman right here that is generating 3 more purple gems, and it's giving purple gems 30% more damage. Now, my Devon is 6-star bronze at the time of this recording. Coming up in the next talent up, he is perfectly ready to go to 6-star silver, and he will be going there. We have Superhero Ray here for the 12k damage. Now, I want to set this out. He was released 2 weeks ago, so right now we do have the MP boost for Devon Dudley. That is very, very nice in the short-term scheme of things. We have we have roughly 3 to 4 more feuds before the MP boost goes away, so that's a solid deal. So if you have Devon Dudley and you're using him for feuds, the only other thing I can think of right at this moment is switching out Xavier for Trick Razor or Zombie Drew, giving another 12k and 12,150 purple damage. So that way you're increasing your damage quite a bit. You can also switch out Xavier for Sin Cara, giving yourself more multiply gems to kind of cover up those color turns. You can go with Matt Hardy if you so choose, Sherry Shepherd if you so choose. You can actually switch off Sammy and Xavier both at the time of this recording. So that way you're increasing your multiplied gem strengths and you're also increasing the generated amount. So let me show you here real quick. See if I have it on here previous. I should. I know I've tried it. Sin Cara. So Sin Cara does affect both the hardcore and the regular to where you can have 30 gems if you're going against a hard or a showboat, which again, the reason I'm taking him up there is because of Showboat Taker. He is going to be my answer for that. And Matt Hardy on here does affect both sides, making strength gems a 9 and 11, which honestly, I think I may keep it this way. I really don't feel like showing, or with it being as inconsistent as it is, we're just going to give this a shot. So we're basically going to nullify out the submission. Now, Trick Xavier and Tech Sammy being in these locations are for when the MP boost goes away. And that'll probably be, that's May. In May, it'll go away. So, oh, that rhymed. So just keep a heads up for that. You can also switch out Rock and Roman here for Memrock. I know a lot of people have just recently got him that have been searching for him for a while. Memrock works really well here. Zombie Taker can work here for giving another multiply gem on both sides. So you're making 16, stuff like that. There's multiple options right now between the month or the end of this month, which is March, going into April. You have multiple things that you can do here, and it's a lot of fun and exciting. It's a fun and exciting time for people who have these chase cards. So let's keep it like this, and we are going to go in against, my bad, our belt. Yes, I do have his plate. Whenever you make 6 or more color turn gems, increase all your gem damage by 50% for 1 turn. That is really, really nice. I'm trying to find a way to ultimately break that plate, and I haven't quite found it yet. Maybe I'll find it in this video. Who knows? Full Fury 2, regardless, I realize that this is a blue percentile. I don't have the metal parts to switch in between the purple and the blue, and then back to all of that other good shit. Just understand the damage that's coming out. This is, or the blue is primarily made up for his main setup, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. So let's go into the fight against LWO Eddie here, our favorite punching bag. And the reason I chose Eddie is I want to show off the hardcore portion for this. It is actually very, very fun. So we're starting off with the worst moveset in my opinion, just because of high risk, high reward, and consistency rating. I'm really hoping it doesn't cascade. This is the other reason why I don't like the submission. Or lowering our chances quite a bit. It's gonna flip. Oh, thank God. We are part of that 50% that did not cascade. So we're gonna slam him down to the ground, obviously making a bunch of multiply gems. And the reason I like the hardcore on this one a lot more is that triggers first. So we have more times 11 than we do the times 9. So that's pretty sweet. We got 38 coming out. Let's see how much of this board we have left behind. Boom. And we're doing 7.97 going forward with that. So kind of a low hit, nothing too drastic. At 6-star silver, that's obviously going to be a lot better, especially with our gem damage increase at 6-star silver. So that one, not too bad. We got very lucky on this recording that it didn't cascade and everything else like that. But you did see that when it came back to my turn, the gems all changed color. So it's a gamble one way or another on whether that's going to sit. So moving forward, we are going to switch. We're going to keep the same exact trainers. Same exact trainers across the board. Come the time for the MP boost to go away. Okay, you're going to still have Trick Xavier. We're going to switch out Tech Sammy for Tech Gunther, which is going to give you +2 purple MP and then 40% increase on purple gems. Gunther combined with Rocker Roman right here is going to equal out to 70% total of increase. You can switch that, or you can switch out Superhero Ray right here if you want to with, I want to say it's Zombie Cody. Yep, Zombie Cody giving another 30%. So you can go 60% or 40% here, 30% here, and then purple gems at 30% here for an additional 100%. But that's to each their own and based off of what trainers you do have. The only move we're going to switch out here is the seated rear chin lock. We're actually going to replace that with the leaping shoulder block, making this a turn 1 damage producer. So our leaping shoulder block is a 1 MP red move that we're going to deal 281,000 damage and choose a 5x7 area to make into color turn gems. The reason why this is far more better, and I believe is sitting roughly in the high A tier, low S tier moveset deal, is because you are going off turn 1. There's no reason for double MP, 2 different MP boosters. You basically have your normal 6 MP based off your trainers that normally happens any which way from Sunday. And what that's going to do is it's also going to help us consolidate down an area that we can actually have our multiply gems have a better chance of hitting our purples, so that way we increase quite a bit. Again, we're going to go against LWO Eddie here. Nothing's going to change on that one. We're going to stick against the Showboat at all times. We do have 2 more movesets following this, so if you guys have stuck around for the 15-minute spiel, I'm happy that you guys have stuck around. So we're going to hit there mainly because it may have been little bit better to come over here to the wall. But since we have Superhero Ray on here, I kind of want to keep these open to have a little bit better effect. I always go for the center 5. That way it's consolidated down. We're going to hit the Saving Grace. And that's going to do quite a bit of these. Mazel tov. So we actually only have 1, 2, 3, 4... I think there's only 4 color turn gems left off of this board. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4. And luckily, 2 of them are purple, so those are immediately going to go away. So we actually filled up a majority of this board with our multiplies, and then we're going to hit the Testify and see what damage we're looking at. We looked at 7 million damage the last time. With the trigger, we're looking at 13 million damage. That's obviously because the plate triggered and stuff like that. So I want to make that abundantly clear that 13 million is also based off of the plate triggering. So really, that's nothing. It's nothing to be mad at. Let's put it that way. Absolutely nothing to be mad at. Now, the downside to this moveset is the only reason it did that much damage is because we have Sin Cara and Matt increasing generation and increasing the strength. So moving to March, when all of this is going to fall off, obviously that's not going to be there. That's probably going to be the realm of damage for a 6-star silver, potentially. I don't see it being that big of a deal moving to 6-star silver, but if it does wind up becoming one, I'll make another video on that, kind of showing this is what it actually does, but I got to wait till March for that one. Or I could always just switch these off now, but really, do I really want that disappointment? Fuck it. We're going to have the disappointment. All right, so we're going to switch out Sin Cara for Trick Xavier, which now should be free range chicken. There we go. And then we're also going to switch out Matt for Gunther, which right now my Gunther is not in the best of standings. I don't really feel like wasting the evolve here. So yeah, I can't really switch that out. I could. We're just going to mitigate. We're going to leave off the 40%. 40% would play a role here. Basically, the way I'm kind of looking at this right now is because I have the plate on there, it's going to show you the damage of what he's going to do if there is no plate. If you don't have the Devon plate, but you do have Devon, then this is the damage you're looking at roughly with having Tech Gunther in lieu of the bonus. So, normal sequence, hitting the leaping shoulder block, going into the Saving Grace. Oh, I'm really scared of what this damage is going to look like. I was blown away by the other damage. See, the generation out there is critical because now we have a lot of color turn gems left. So, hit that, and let's see what comes from it. Oh, I'm nervous. Yep, 8 million. Basically, we lost 5 million damage, but 8 million at 6-star bronze is not bad. We're probably looking upwards between 10 and 11 million at 6-star silver, roughly, somewhere along those lines. And I'm sure with the plate, with Gunther and everything else, that damage would be a little bit higher, but who's to say right at this moment, because I wasn't prepared. All right, now we're going to move on to what I feel is going to be one of the strongest movesets come March. And that's going to be our leaping shoulder block into a thrust spine buster into what's up? Something I never thought I'd actually be able to say ever again in my life. So, our thrust spine buster is going to deal 196,000 damage and choose seven gems to make into blue gems. It is a 6-cost MP, so if you're looking at it from a logical mathematic perspective, you're looking at Sting, a line bonus, and Santa Hogan. If you don't want a double MP boost, I don't recommend double MP boosting. If you can avoid it, avoid it. And then we have what's up? Oh, actually, nope, it's 6 cost. So you won't need Santa Hogan. You'll just need a plus MP boost or plus 1 red MP boost for the lines on feud. So you have your 4 from Sting, and then you have the 1 from the line bonus, and then you have the 1 that initiates it. So thrust. So basically 1 MP trainer for here. It's Butch or Sting. Either way, you have the chance there to get that started up. And that's going to go into what's up. It's our finisher. Deal 795,000 damage and make 39 random gems into red gems and pin the opponent. So when I look at this, all I'm hearing in my head is gem boost to the moon. You can do multiple things here. Excuse me. You can go and increase the finisher damage if you so choose. I don't recommend it because it doesn't bode well here across the board. So ultimately, I feel like you just need to stick with gem damage all the way. Where is Lawler? Right there. Passed him 3 times because I am special. Red gems there, and then color turn. Nope. Color turn. You can do this also with Generator. You can go and throw on Zombie Bianca, which I don't think would hurt or anything else. You're increasing, or you're generating out 3 more red gems, which would give you 42 in the long run, which would better help fill the board. You can go with RVD for the 12k color turn gem damage. You can go RVD and Zombie Bianca. I mean, if you don't have Tech Stacy all the way up there, which by this point you really should have Tech Stacy to 5-star gold. The 12k damage or flat damage helps every single freaking card that uses gem damage. Let's just put it that way. And I'm sure there's a few other ones that you can throw in these spots, but these are the main ones I think of when I look at this moveset. So this is what I'm going to go with. Again, same Fury 2 across the board. Luckily now we can see what the finisher damage is going to be with our blue metal. Hit that, and let's see how the chips fall here. It's been a hot minute since I've used this, so... But since everything's fully charged here, I'm just going to kind of go into the initial damage. So you're looking at 9 here. I need to take 2 steps back here for a second. When it comes to the trainers, if you want this to be turn 1, I do recommend switching off either Tech Stacy or RVD for NWO Hogan. That way you can do 3 here, 3 here, getting on both sides of the board. That will charge the finisher from the thrust spinebuster in 1 shot and being less risk for a cascade. So that will look, once you've done that, because there's really no reason for me to do it right now, everything's fully charged. We're going to go center with the color turn. That's going to trigger our plate. Our finisher damage now is doing 1.9 million damage with 159% from the metal. At 200%, obviously that's going to be a lot better. And then we're going to hit this, making 39 random gems into red gems. There's only 4 on the board, so we'll have 43 out of 49. Bam, bam, Bigelow. 4.6. Really? Really? That was kind of a letdown. Not going to lie, it's really a letdown. Okay. Well, now I'm kind of upset because I thought that was going to be a lot better than what it was. So now my opinion's changed on this. This is officially the worst moveset. This is a combination, obviously. Yeah, this is going to be a combination parallel, I guess, with the finisher. This just did not bode well. Now the board having more gems out here, maybe this will bode a little bit better, but that damage was just sickening. That was so depressing. God, that made me so sad. Yep, 4.7 still. It's just making me sadder and sadder as time goes on. Now it's clearly showing to me that submission and this setup are A tier and not really worth it because now we're just draining a clock. If we're in an actual feud setting right now against a Showboat Taker who Devon is going to be allocated to, we would be dead right now. We would be stun locked into oblivion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So yeah, this is just a giant letdown. But at least it was recorded, and I don't have to explain why it sucks because now you can clearly see why it sucks. So that's that. You're done. Thank you for playing. And now we're going to move on to the best moveset that I can possibly think of. You don't need the Devon plate for this. You don't really need any special plate. I mean, you can if you want, but you really don't need it. And that's going to be his triple blue. The triple blue is phenomenal. Not just because of the MP cost, but because of the damage it outputs. So, triple blue, we're going to start off with the corkscrew elbow. We're going to deal 231,000 damage and increase your blue move damage by 80% for 1 turn. Our headbutt drop is what's going to follow, dealing 196,000 damage, and choose a 3x2 area to swap into blue gems. And then we have our what's up, which is our finisher, which we just looked at and saw how much garbage that actually was. So, there's 2 schools of thought that come with this. And the first school of thought should be this: move damage. That is your milieu. That is what you are going to thrive off of with this. But there is a caveat to that, so I will get to that here in just a second after I switch out the trainers. The one time that Ezekiel is going to show off. So what I've done here is I've done Lawler with Matu Bailey, Ezekiel, not Elias, Ezekiel, and Hall of Fame Honky Tonk Man. So essentially what we are doing is we are increasing our finisher by 240% and increasing our blue move damage by 40%. That is now making us do it where the corkscrew elbow is doing 324,000 damage, our headbutt drop is doing 274,000 damage, and our finisher is doing 2.7 million damage. This, on top of a 200%er, is going to increase it a lot more. What's going to wind up happening is the corkscrew elbow is increasing by 80%. With it increasing by 80%, it's going off of this number here. That's from what I have gathered thus far. It may actually go off of this, or it may go trainer. It may register the trainer and the metal with the increase, but I'm not a math person, so if you're watching this video and you do see that, I mean, if you slow it down or whatever, if you can do the math and you tell me exactly if it's going off of trainer damage or it's going off of the metal damage, that'd be great. That would save me a bitch ton of time. Now, this is where the caveat comes in. I just said that our trainers are based around move damage, and that is accurate. Our belt, on the other hand, needs to stay at Fury 2. The reason why this needs to stay this way is, 1, our what's up is making 39 random gems into red gems. So we're getting additional damage from our Fury 2 medals. The other caveat to this too is having Fury 2 on this is going to allow for the AI and yourself to kick out 10 times easier. When we run against cards that have high finisher damage, such as Showboat Taker, Devon, the new Bubba, and stuff like that, takedown's great for the increased damage. It's great to be an aggressor. The problem that comes with it is if you haven't noticed thus far in your feuding or showdown or anything like that, if a card has takedown 2 medals on there, it has a lot harder time kicking out. And that is where a lot of the speed running comes in, is everyone's trying to one-shot and get them taken out. You need to have some sort of defensive standpoint. The best kind of offense is a good defense. The good defense is the kick out damage that can occur. So that's the reason why I say stick with Fury 2. Use your coaches and your trainers for the move damage increase. If you go to takedown 2, that's fine. You're going to be doing a lot more damage. You might be one-shotting a lot of things, but you're also allowing your opponents to take you down a lot easier. It's a balance. Find that balance in between. All right, so we're going to go back in, and we're going to dominate Eddie in one shot. Now, it is super sweet that we have the MP boost for this because we can kind of stack a little bit better. But essentially, the same rules are going to apply one way or another. Since we do have Lawler on here and these are 5 costs, what is going to wind up happening is you're going to wind up hitting the corkscrew first. That's a given. Increase your you're going to boost. That now puts our corkscrew elbow at 1.1 million damage, our headbutt drop to 991,000 damage, and our finisher to 6.8 million damage. I didn't look at this before, so we're probably gonna have to run this again. We're gonna hit here. Keep to the top. This is the best course of action that I have found. Now, if you have a bunch of these doubles up here, you clearly can tell that you're gonna cascade a little bit. So you can go down here if you so choose, but since I have these two here, I'm a little nervous. So I'm going to hit that. It's probably going to bite me in the ass, which it did. And we're going to hit the corkscrew elbow. The positive thing here is the 3 break really didn't hurt us that much. It got us a little bit closer to the side, but it didn't hurt us that much. Ultimately, we're only going to get the corkscrew elbow off twice in one turn, so we're going to be boosting our everything by 160% by the end. You can hit the elbow or headbutt drop again if you so choose. That is entirely up to you, but I don't recommend it because you want this ready for the next turn. Our finisher now hits for 9.9 million damage, and we're going to make 39 random gems into red gems. So let's see what comes of this. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. And he's done. 10 million damage. Clearly the best moveset. Clearly. Just there's no question about that. It's clearly the best one. It does the most damage. It's a one-shot pony if you get so lucky. If you get fortunate or unfortunate enough for them to kick out and hit you again, you can go back through the process and you can actually hit the corkscrew. You can hit the corkscrew elbow 3 times at that point. Now let's go back in one more time just for shits and giggles. The reason I want to go in is I want to see what that damage looked like to start with. So our finisher damage is at 3.8. We're going to hit the corkscrew elbow, adding 80%. And now we're at 6.8. So for all you mathematizers out there, in what looks like, it looks to me that it goes off of that damage. So it looks to me like it goes off the trainers and the belt. So that's a beautiful thing. Hit up in the top corner if you can. We have the 3 break, which is fine. So we're sitting at 6.8 now. Going to hit the 80%. And now it goes to 9.9. So that's all you math people out there. I think it goes off of the initial. Whatever the total was when the match started, I think that's what it goes off of. It just sticks to that number. So, but that's up for you guys to tell me whether or not I'm correct. I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. So, math just falls short on me, but still, over 10 million damage. He's done. That is pretty freaking sweet. And during the last feud where I had to fight one of these, he actually whooped my ass a little bit. The damage output was insane. And he was running triple blue. So for the time being, with the MP boost being available and stuff like that, I do recommend switching out Lawler for Pat Patterson. You can do Pat, which gives 100% to blue moves. Right now, mine's at 60%, I believe. Let's see here. Yeah, Pat's 5-star gold, so I want to say he's 60%. Yes. Let's see here. Yep, right there. He's at 65%. Once he goes to 6-star bronze and everything, it'll be 100%, so that'll be pretty sweet. And the downside to him, though, is I don't need him. I really don't. Essentially, this setup right here is going to be your highest output. It is the highest amount of blue gem damage that you can, or blue move damage you can do, and will produce the best results. But for now, if you really feel like being a little bit more aggressive, put Pat here, then Matu Bailey, Elias, not Ezekiel, and Hall of Fame Honky Tonk. It's going to bode you probably a couple more million damage along the way, at least until March. So that is our long drawn out video on Devon Dudley. Get the tables. Oh, one other thing. There is a possibility, if you really so choose, that you can go and do the leaping shoulder block instead of the corkscrew elbow to do your gem damage a little bit more. But really, that's if you have the plate, and it's lackluster at best, so you can try that. So to end off this video, this is what I'm going to leave it with. The leaping shoulder block into the Saving Grace and the Testify is the second strongest. Our Corkscrew Elbow, Headbutt Drop, and What's Up is the first strongest. So yeah, S plus tier here. You have S tier here with the Leaping Shoulder Block, Saving Grace, and Testify. You have A tier quality with Leaping Shoulder Block, Thrust, Spine Buster, and What's Up. And then A tier quality with Seated Rear Chin Lock, Testify, and Saving Grace. So 4 very good move sets. 2 are subpar. 2 are very good. It's totally based off of your play style. So if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends about me. Let's start getting these subscribers up. Let's get to at least 200 by the end of April. End of April, let's get to at least 200 so we can start setting goals for ourselves for the rest of the year. So with all that being said, I'm going to leave you the same way I always leave you. Life can be fun if you allow it to be. We'll see you in the next video.